Probably the scariest thing I saw all week, other than blurred nudes of James Ellsworth, was David Arquette, former WCW champion David Arquette, basically getting his throat slit in a death match against Nick Gage at the Joey Janela show on Friday night. Arquette was the replacement for Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan needs surgery to repair a torn pec. That seems to be going around lately. David Arquette wrestling indie death matches in 2018 is not something I could have predicted when I did my prediction show at the beginning of the year, but here we are. They were in there smashing light tubes over one another. It looked like what happened is that, because I saw the video, there was fan video uploaded online, and what happened is they sort of fell backwards, and as they were falling backwards, this was right after Gage had broken one of the tubes over Arquette, and I think he had a piece of it, and he was trying to, use it as a weapon. And Arquette's on his knees, and they kind of fall backwards. And they got tangled up in a way that Arquette accidentally had his throat cut. And there was some fear that he may have sliced his jugular, which could have meant death for this guy. He immediately grabbed his neck. He knew something was wrong. He was bleeding all over the place. He left the ring like he was going to go to the back. It was very scary, actually, to watch that. But then, instead of going to the back, he thought better of it. He came back into the ring. Gage hit him again, I think, with a light tube. And at that point, it looked like Arquette just snapped. He got angry. He started shooting. David Arquette started shooting on Nick Gage. He threw a chair at him. He went after him. Gage quickly got him down and told him to stay down, and he pinned him. And Arquette just got up, he no-sold the finish, and he walked out. He pulled an Austin Aries here on this show, which I'm sure had more to do with him being worried, about dying, and not because he was trying to be a dick. On Twitter afterwards, Arquette said that he got stitched up, and he said, "Turns out death matches aren't my thing." They may not be his thing, but you know what? He earned a lot of brownie points with the fans for what he put himself through in that match. There's a lot of deathmatch fans out there who are into that sort of thing, and I think they have a newfound respect after this for David Arquette. I still think it's stupid whenever I see guys breaking light tubes over each other. I don't know. I never understood that. I never got into that. I'm not a fan of that, but to each their own. I will give Arquette a ton of credit for taking the punishment. It's interesting, I've seen his name pop up a lot lately, and he has very quietly, low-key, established this new indie career for himself. Not because he has to, but because he's a genuine fan of pro wrestling, and he wants to, I guess, to some degree, prove himself that, he can do it, or prove to himself that he can do it. And, people shit on this guy for so many years about winning the WCW title and that whole debacle back in 2000, and how, it killed the company. You're responsible for the death of WCW, which, of course, is so stupid. That whole angle was one of many things that led to the downfall of that company. It was hardly, the thing. But to say that David Arquette is responsible for the death of WCW, or actually blame the guy for what happened, is complete bullshit. Those are just people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're talking out of their rear end. Look, as a fan, he didn't even want to do the angle. It was not even his idea to win the championship, and he had no interest in doing it because as a fan, he knew what was going to happen. He knew the backlash that he would get. He knew how ridiculous it would be. Now, he did it anyway. The company, they were really excited about doing it. They got him to do it. He ended up doing a pay-per-view match after that. But the story on Arquette was always that he was very respectful. When he was around people, treated them with respect, was very respectful of the business. And in fact, all the money that he made doing that stuff in WCW, whatever paychecks he got, he donated all of that money to the families of Brian Pillman and Owen Hart and Darren Drozdov. That's a quality human being. Unlike this next person I'm about to talk about.